Hello. Happy New Year's. It is 2025 and it's time to give up. Yep, I said it. Somebody had to say it. It is time to give up, but not give up what you think I'm talking about. I'm not talking about giving up on your dreams and your goals, but I am talking about giving up those things that no longer serve us. I think that the end of the year, at least for me, is a time of self-reflection and to think about what has and what has not worked. And I think that the beginning of the year, a new year, is a time to potentially adopt new mindsets, new habits, new plans, that will help us to create the kind of lifestyle or life or work experience that we really desire. So, my question to you is what do you need to give up? Welcome to the Sovereignty Sage, where your sage, Melania Johnson, enjoys herself as she runs her mouth about all things woman. My mom always said, women are the most powerful beings on the planet. They just don't know it. Well, I'm here to help you to know it. Put on your big girl panties because we're going deep. I'll talk about it all. Now let's go claim your sovereignty, shall we? So I gave you a few minutes to think. What are you going to give up? You know, I've broken this down, and it's going to be a quick talk today into the 5 points, right? And the first point is unrealistic expectations. Let's get rid of them. I mean, if you are counting on your happiness or your success, even in your professional life, with all things working according to what's going on in your head, all things working perfectly, all things coming together at the right time, at the right place, in the right situation, and having an outcome that, is perfect, then I think that you're setting yourself up for a year of frustration. And I think you're setting yourself up for other people in your relationships, whether they be personal or professional, being frustrated too. I think that, I mean, you can have a hope, right? Let's hope that all things work together. But I'm not going to base my happiness on all things always working the way I see them in my mind. And here's the thing, I don't think we always want things to work out the way that we see them in our minds because we have limited, knowledge and expectations. Not expectations. That's aren't we talking about expectations? But resources, right? We can only think sometimes of the things that we know and not even factor in some of the things that are unknown that are beneficial to us. So I really encourage you to, think about, what percentage of the time are you spending in expectation of you being this perfect self and everybody else around you being perfect, because the reality is that we can hardly control ourselves, right? No, have you found yourself just standing in front of the open refrigerator, just looking at what you can eat, knowing that you don't need to eat something, right? But here we are, and 2 seconds later, you've downed a pint of ice cream, and it was delicious. It was delicious. I'm not judging you, but what I am saying is that it's difficult to control our own minds and our own activities and behaviors. So the idea of controlling this universe and everything in it is really just a recipe for disappointment. It never brings happiness. So take your expectations and get rid of them, right? Swipe left, right? Just get rid of them. It's time to give them up. Number two is relationships, right? Um, Sometimes we need to give up relationships that no longer serve us. In my mind, when I was thinking about this chat today, it went to Maria Kondo, who is the Netflix guru on organization and decluttering. And I just loved her spirit. I've watched a few of her shows, and I loved her spirit because she was always so kind when she walked into other people's what they felt was chaos, and what she saw was just an opportunity to do great work. And she was never judgmental. But one of the things that she did in terms of helping people to discard and get rid of and make decisions about things that they possess, because it's difficult to let go, right? It's difficult to give up things. But she would ask them to hold them in their hands and look at it and ask, does this spark joy? Right? And if the item sparked joy, then keep it. But if it didn't, release it. And so I think that it might be a good way to kind of assess our relationships in 2025. Does it spark joy? Does that relationship spark joy? I think it's a valid question. I think because sometimes we stay with things that are familiar to us, even though they are not beneficial to us, even though they don't bring us joy. And sometimes, on the contrary, they bring us misery. They bring us sadness. They bring us stress. They bring us disappointment. So, are your relationships bringing you joy? You know, I think it's a great time at the beginning of the year to decide, what is important to you in relationships? What are your values? What are the things that you need? And maybe you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? Maybe you don't want to just get rid of a relationship, because none of this is about, doing anything rashly. This is a contemplative time, right? So maybe it's time for you to clearly articulate with someone in your life what you need from them, right? And also share with them what you're resolved to do if you're not able to get what you need from them, right? I think that's fair. And so that's something to think about. The quality of our relationships reflect the quality of our lives. If most of our relationships are unfulfilling or toxic, you owe it to yourself to do something about it. And there is no better time than the beginning of the year to assess how you're moving through this world and how you are interacting with people and how they are interacting with you and what the impact of that is on your life. Number 3, what habit is literally or figuratively killing you? We are only as healthy as our mental and physical habits. Is there a habit that you need to leave in 2024? And so, to help you, because I like to be helpful, I made a little list to get your mind working. Is the habit that you need to give up self neglect? Is it distractions? I hope that I'm not a distraction, but how much time do you spend with the remote, sitting on the couch? How much time do you spend scrolling through social media? And I think every once in a while, it's good to take a look at what the algorithm is feeding you. Sometimes I find that I'm a little angry. Well, or just, vapid. Like, why am I watching yet another dance video? Is that habit that you need to give up? Is it smoking? Is it a sedentary life? Is it complaining, judging? Is it exhaustion? Yes, exhaustion is a habit, right? Uncontrolled shopping, toxic relationship with food, being the emotional support for everyone that has a pulse. You know who you are, right? That's a habit that's hard to give up. It's hard to give up being needed and respected and look to for advice. It's a habit. But whatever it is, right? Formulate a plan and or get the support that you need to help you to break the habit. And once you do, that when I break this habit, it is going to improve my life, right? The next one feeds into what I just said in terms of planning. letting go of the lack of plans in the areas that mean something to you. I'm going to say that again. Letting go, giving up the lack of plans in the areas that mean something to you. In other words, are there things that you're planning on, are there things that you need to plan, or you need to give up in terms of your plans? I mean, we fill our lives with all kinds of plans. We're busy people. I plan to do this. I plan to be that. I plan to go there. I plan. But are you really planning the things that are just really crucial and important to you in your life and what you want to live this year, right? Are there things that you're putting off that you really want, but you don't have a plan for? Is there something that you want to achieve, again, but you have no plan? And maybe you don't even have a plan to get you to the starting point. See, we don't have to have the whole plan, but sometimes we just need a plan to get us to the gate, to start, so that we can formulate the plan. We need to give up not having plans in the areas that are really important to us. Are you spending your time on plans that no longer serve you? I don't want to do that, but yeah, but I started this, 3 years ago, and 3 years ago I was invested in it, but I'm not anymore. You don't have to do it. You can change a plan. A plan can be changed. Are you letting others, i.e., someone close to you in your life or society at large, plan for you? Have you relinquished control in areas that you don't want to? These are things to think about this year, because this is a new year. You know, let's make it what you want it to be. The last area that I want to talk about is stress. Mm, Giving up stress. Outside of sickness, death, financial catastrophe, maybe throw in divorce, or a broken relationship. Much of our daily stress that we manage is of our own doing. You know, excuse me, we decide that we have to be everything for everyone, or we have to be this super perfect human being, or we have to sacrifice ourselves, right? Whatever it is, look at the things that are stressing you in your life and go, is this self-induced? And if it is, pick one. Pick one thing that is painful, the most painful stressor, and start to at get to the gate, the starting gate. What do I need to do to eliminate this stressor? And if you need support doing that, then find the support, whether that's someone in your life or whether that's professional support. So you can decide that in 2025, to let things go that stress you, and to let habits go that no longer serve you, right? So it's on you. You and I have the power to make this our best life, our best year. But we do have to let some things go. This channel is based on a saying that my mother used to say, about women being, the strongest things on the planet. She also used to say that a closed hand receives nothing. If we're holding on to things that no longer serve us, we cannot open our hands. We cannot open our hearts, our minds, ourselves to new things that will actually make us happy, actually propel our careers, and our professional lives. Actually, make our relationships more fulfilling. If you're holding on to things that no longer serve you, you cannot move forward. So let's move in, shall we, to today's quote. It's quoted by me. The quality of our relationships, including the quality of the relationship you have with yourself, reflect the quality of our lives. If most of our relationships are unfulfilling, or toxic, including the relationships we have with ourselves, you owe it to yourself to do something about it. And the start of the year is a great time to do something about it. And so I always like to move our conversations from the individual sovereignty, right? Uh, Getting our own personal power, empowering ourselves to live our best lives and to be our best selves. And I'd like to then turn the lens to our collective work, our collective sovereignty. It is our responsibility, to create a life and a world that we actually want to live in. And as we empower ourselves to live our best life in the ways that support our ability to thrive, we must also be cognizant of the realities of women in our own communities, in our own countries, and in our world, and what uh, sovereignty, what empowerment they need in order to create families and communities and countries and a world that supports their interests. Women have never had true freedom in modern history. I'm going to repeat it. Women have never had true freedom in modern history. This is our work to do. We deserve to be free. Everyone does. Individual sovereignty and collective sovereignty is two sides to the same coin. It's the way forward. So, I'm looking forward to 2025, and I'm looking forward to doing my best work. I'm looking forward to serving you. And I'm looking forward to being the best version of myself this year. And I really do wish you the same. I wish you to be the best version of yourself. And I'm here to support you every step of the way. So I have run my mouth enough for this New Year's Day. If I've helped you in some way, please like, subscribe, and share, because I cannot, I think that what I'm offering you is solid. I think it's real, and I think that it can help, and I'd like to be able to help other people. I'd like for us as women to be able to have our own personal sovereignty and collective sovereignty, and to affect to use our resources, our minds and our bodies, to create a world that supports us, as opposed to the world that we live in now. So please do share this if it has been of any benefit to you. And if you have not told yourself this lately, you are powerful. Now go claim your sovereignty and rule your world. It's time to let go and to grow. Happy New Year's. Have an excellent 2025. I don't want to have a shameless plug today, but again, I am here to help. So if you need some additional help, I'm starting a 6-week mental fitness program here to support you. Um, Reach out to me if this is something that is of
Thanks for
interest to
joining me
you.
this week. Come back next week at 12 noon. I'm live on YouTube. Love to see you. Maybe we can have a chat. Take care. See you next week.